Yeah, yeah, yeah. What is going on, everybody? We are back with another episode of From My Experience podcast. I am your host, Rob, and I want to know how y'all doing out there. Y'all doing all right? Are you having a good day? Are you making breakfast right now? You making lunch? You making dinner? You just chilling on a Saturday? I really wonder when people actually listen to the podcast and what y'all are doing. I'm not looking at y'all in case I was right with any of my guesses, but I hope y'all are doing all right. I hope you're relaxed. I hope you're enjoying the steaming hot summer. Well, I'm in the DMV, so it's a steaming hot summer up here. I am definitely trying to adjust. Like it's so hot. Like, you know, when you go outside and you open the door and you you feel the heat, like you feel like you walking into something. Like that's how hot it is. So I'm enjoying that and trying to be more social, trying to get rid of the hermit mentality, as I said a few episodes ago. But thank y'all. You, wonderful listeners, for the continued support. Thank you for liking the Facebook page and joining the Facebook group From My Experience podcast. Thank you for following and commenting on the Instagram page, FME_podcast. And of course, once again, thank you for continuing to listen and share the podcast, From My Experience podcast. Very special shout out to everyone subscribed on Apple Podcasts. We're trying to get y'all to migrate to Apple Podcasts because we're going to be making some shifts and changes. So if you are able to get over to Apple Podcasts, please start listening to us over there. It will help us out tremendously with the transition that we're gonna be making in the next couple of months. Special shout out to those of you who have been supporting the show financially by shopping with our affiliates. We have Acre Gold, we have Garner's Garden, and we have Jot Forms. Acre Gold is a gold subscription plan where you literally pay monthly until your money hits the price of gold, depending on the size that you order. They have 2.5 gram bars and 5 gram bars. Once your money hits the threshold, they mail it to you in a nice discreet package. I have a few myself. Don't run up because you'll get done up. But it's legit. And so if you want something tangible that you can invest in, Acre Gold is the way to go. Garner's Garden, they sell 100% organic products, hair care, skin care, oral health care, great products, black owned. That's another bonus for you. So make sure you check them out. Then we have Jot Forms. Jot Forms, for those of you who run a business and you need people to fill out information for you ahead of time, or if you just want to make custom intake forms for anything you may need for your business, Jot Forms is the way to go. Smooth, easy. They store everything for you, and you can create multiple forms for multiple uses. Now the business is out of the way, and we're going to get down to the reason why we're here today. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a special guest. Yeah. I'm going to keep hitting y'all with these interviews, man. I'm going to keep giving people more and more exposure, okay? So, ladies and gentlemen, we have someone very, very, very special with us today. She has done something amazing. You know, you ever just had a thought or been inspired by something, but it just remained in the thought stage and you never executed? This isn't her. That's not her. You know what she did? She was inspired and she started something spectacular that we are now a part of as well. And yeah, I'm gonna let her tell you all about it, ladies and gentlemen. But today we have special guest. She is the founder and creator of Dope Black Pods, which is a podcast directory. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Tia Triplett.
How's it going?
Hello there. How are you?
Great. That was an awesome introduction.
I try. You know what I'm saying? I like to give people their flowers.
That was great.
Was it the music or the clapping? Which part did you like?
A little bit of both. I like a little mixture. So go ahead and keep that mixture going forward.
Yes. Why, thank you. So, first question for you. Who is Tia Triplett?
Why we start with these types of questions?
What? What you mean? They need to know the person behind the brand. Give us a little bit, just a little bit.
Okay, it's a little bit. I don't know, I'm from Oklahoma, you know.
Oklahoma.
I moved to Dallas in 2016 with my friends, and I'm a podcaster. I have a podcast with my friend Kim sit with us. We kind of took a COVID hiatus and haven't not quite made a bag, but we thinking about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm a mom. You know, I do that. I work a little bit, you know, and pods are pretty much my life. I think about pods every day, and so that's me. A little bit of everything, I guess.
Okay, that's dope. That's dope. You know, podcasting is its own phenomenon. It is, for me, it is taken over so many other forms of entertainment. If
Mm.
I'm on a long trip, it used to be music, but now it's like probably a majority of a trip is probably podcasts. I'll probably listen to like if I go on a 2 hour trip, probably 20 minutes might be music. The rest will be podcasts because there's just
Hmm.
so much out there. But how let's talk about your story. How did you get into podcasting?
Well, okay, so I had my favorite pod. It was The Read, of course, back in the day, a
Shout
long
out to
time
the Read, very
ago.
popular podcast.
Yes, yes, yes. And so, you know, I listened to them every week and I just, you know, I loved it. And I was like, well, I got some things I want to talk about too. And so asked my friend to be a part of it. And we just went from there. We talked about like politics and um, pop culture type things. And we just started it. You know, I say we were the first podcast out of Oklahoma. And, you know, I haven't been refuted. So I'm going to say we're the first podcast out of Oklahoma. Um,
First ever.
Yes, yes, first ever. Boo boo, yes. But yeah, so we've been podcasting for about 5 or 6 years, and you know, I love it still. You know, life is just busy, but and so I was also inspired by, of course, Pots and Colors. You know, she does highlight, podcast up color, you know,
Yep.
not just black folk. And so, but I wanted to do black people. And so that's why I started the platform in 2017 and it just kind of grown from there.
So okay, what was your process like of starting Dope Black Pods? First of all, thank you for creating a space for people like myself to just highlight us, to let us be seen, because a lot of people, as you know, when it comes to podcasting, and I try to tell people this when I'm helping them start their podcast or in podcasting, and they're frustrated, they're so focused on numbers and exposure, and I'm like, look, don't let that be your driving force. I mean, if you're trying to quit your job and podcast, that's different. But it's like if you're doing this kind of like me, I do want to make money from it eventually, but I enjoy this. Like this don't feel like work to me. This is fun. I love learning. I genuinely enjoy interviewing people and hearing from them and sharing. And the people that do listen, you know, they send me feedback and I love it. And I'm not going to sit here and act like I have 5 million listeners a week. I don't. I have a decent amount of listeners. I mean, I'm straight, you know, but it grows, you know, it's a time thing. And there's just no, that I can think of, there's no way to really crack the code yet to really just blow up. Like you just, consistency is the biggest thing. Like if you're going to pod, you need to make sure that you have whatever your release schedule is, you stick to it and make sure you have good sources for content and be consistent. And eventually you'll get there. You know, I've been podding since 2015.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, and I, you know, like the first, I don't know, maybe 40, 50 episodes, like 2 listens each. You know what I'm saying? Like barely anybody was listening, but we didn't care because we enjoyed it. You know, now I'm doing something now. But yeah, so but I do appreciate, you know, again, you for creating a platform to where, okay, people can find me, and it makes it easier because you know when you're on a platform like Dope Black Pods, okay, they're looking for me. They're not just looking for a podcast. They're looking for a podcast from people who look like me, and that's very important.
Hmm. Absolutely, and that's the whole point, and just to give people a platform that they wouldn't normally have, and that's what I love about it. And you know, you just have to use the hashtag, and I think that's what made it popular. You know, you didn't have to, and you still don't. You don't have to be a part of the directory. You don't have to do any of that stuff. You just have to use the hashtag. And so I try to make it as easy as possible. Now, granted, there's a lot of podcasts out there. So,
Yes.
when I say, you know, use the hashtag, really, I see you and I put you like on a schedule. So don't expect to be like posted next week.
Mm-hmm.
But I see you though. And so, yeah, that's all you have to do. Use the hashtag.
So, how does your directory help podcasts for people who aren't familiar with directories, and why should people sign up?
Because it's going to be seen. I think as a podcaster, the main goal is to be on as many platforms as possible to be able to be heard and reached by an audience. And so I don't think it hurts to be on one more directory or another platform that's also going to engage with you as well. So I like to share you guys stuff. I like y'all stuff. Y'all are, I'm accessible. Y'all can talk to me,
Yeah,
that kind of thing.
the human element. You know,
Yeah.
some people get the big head and think they celebrities, act like they can't hit you back on Instagram. I ain't gonna call none. I ain't gonna call none of y'all out right now. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Uh,
Respond to your message and did not listen to your message before. But we connected, whatever.
no, you good, you good. I wasn't talking about you. You're good. You were actually very responsive, and this happened fairly quickly. We set this up in like a week. I'm used to chasing
Yeah.
somebody for at least a month and a half before I actually get them on here.
Oh wow.
Um, yeah, especially after they send the questionnaire, they're like, "Oh wait, he's for real." Yeah, yeah, I'm for real. Shoot. So we were talking before I hit record. You run this by yourself?
I do. And so that's probably why I'm not as responsive as I would like to be. Like, hush, we just set it up quickly. But it's because I do everything by myself. So whenever you're interacting with me, whether that's via email, Instagram, DMs, just whatever, it is me. So bear with me. I have a lot going on, but I'm usually pretty timely in responses and things like that.
Was it a choice, or you just haven't found anyone to really like help you out yet? Because I feel like that's probably a lot of work.
It is a lot of work. Well, the thing, I can't afford to pay nobody no living wage right now. And I'm not trying to be paying nobody pennies. I'm not trying to be these jobs out here. So, and I can manage it. I just need to have better time management. So that might be a me thing.
Mm,
As you sip your tea.
no, I feel you. And I will say this. I've never paid anyone that I work with. But they do it. They did it because they wanted to. And I will drop this tidbit on you as well. I have an intern. So those university relationships can come in handy. You can get you an intern and give them some valuable experience, and you get the help that you need, and you don't have to pay anybody. Or you just find somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's I mean, if it's working for you, I'm not gonna tell you how to run your stuff. But that's what happened over here. Some people want money, and then you gotta tell them, look, I ain't got it, okay? So, and I get it. There's nothing wrong with wanting money for your time and services, but
Right.
people gotta
Right.
understand where you are too. But
Hmm.
yeah, interns. Okay, I'm a big advocate for interns and outsourcing whenever you can. Uh, so what are,
Note.
huh?
I said noted.
No, I'm telling you. Listen. What is do you have an overall goal or plan for the future of Dope Black Pods?
Yeah, for sure. I definitely would like it to be like a network type deal, to where it's like a hub for podcasts, what I mean? Like, cause
Yeah.
I want to be there for podcasters. Like, I mean, sure, cool, it's for listeners too to come and like peek around, but honestly, I want to be a place for podcasters. And so that is kind of the vision. And so that's where I might need some help because listen, building this website, yo, this it is not
I'm
for the faint of
no.
heart.
It's listen. I'm
I just
with
feel like
you.
throw my laptop. Like, what is so hard?
I'm with you. I'm listen. I was trying to pay someone to build my build our web.
At this point, take these dollars.
Listen, I'm with you. Like But my intern was so excited. Shout out to Erica. Erica's like, no, we can do this. And we meet 2 times a week just to specifically work on the website. And we're actually making good progress. We're probably going to finish it. If I quit slacking, probably when is this episode gonna release? I don't know when it is right now, y'all. We're recording this in July, but hopefully by September it's done. We'll see. But yeah, I'm with you on that because I'm not the artistic guy. So stuff like design sucks for me. Like I hate it. I'm like I can't do it. I don't know what colors go together. Leave me alone. How much do you want? Go do it and let me look at it later. Like that's how I feel about it. It's just yeah. But you mentioned something. So we might need to we might need to have a conversation off air about this podcast network because one thing I've been doing is building with my friends and talking and I think that's where it really is with podcasting. I'm going to pick your brain about that in a minute, but I want to ask you this. What have you noticed or what has stood out to you when it comes to just podcasting in general, from when you started listening to when you started your own and just looking at the industry as a whole? What do you see?
It's more like social media, one-on-one, video based now. People want as much information as much proximity as they can to host. So I think it's important really to connect to people in that avenue as well to, progress to the video aspect. I know as old schoolers are like, no, I'm never doing that. I'm sticking to my audio.
Yeah.
But I think that's the main thing that I've seen, from starting out to now is the video aspect of it. So we kind of talked about this a little bit off air, but how like that anxiety, people are like freaked out about video.
Yeah.
Right now we're not even videoing.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you really do have to kind of get out of your comfort zone to progress with an industry. And I think that's the number one thing right now is video.
I hate it. Be honest with you. I don't like being on video, but I say that as someone who's actually going to record street interviews in the future.
Not well. Hey.
Yeah, I want to get back to. I don't know how old you are, but I don't know if you remember like hits from the street on BET. Like when people usually really were in the street, really doing interviews, not pranks, but like really interviewing people on the street. I want to kind of bring that bike. I've got the other thing I don't like about video is the editing and the recording process. And back to then, you need people then. Like, I mean, I have tripods and stuff and I have my phone, but it's like, one other person is a godsend when it comes to stuff like that. But you're right. I even bought a new webcam recently because I'm like, if you're going to do video, you can't be having this fuzzy, fuddy-duddy laptop camera. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, just the whole stress of, okay, I got to
Don't even get me started. Like, see, that's like you just said, just the whole stress. And you just don't even want to continue, right? Like, you probably don't even want to finish that sentence because you just have so many layers to what you're getting ready to say. And that is the thing, too. So it's just, so I feel your pain. I feel you and I see you.
I had, shout out to Megan Rivers, one of my friends from college. She's a news reporter. She's a journalist. And she said when podcasts do so much video, to her it's more of a just like you're a show now because you're focused so much on the video versus a podcast. And it's an interesting blend. But that's just that layer of being on, you know what I'm saying? Like my beard got to be fluffy, like my hair got to be straight, my glasses can't have smudges, can't have no crust on my lip. Like it's just like, bruh. But I think it is necessary only because okay, let me see if I can say this without pissing people off. Okay, so I had to get over something when I started podcasting. I had to get over the fact that celebrities and people of notoriety are going to occupy this space. And I say that because I know that the money, the sponsorships and stuff like that are going to flood to them first. Putting people like you and me, let me not categorize you. I'll talk about myself. Ordinary people, regular people like me, who have a noble cause in their podcast but don't have the notoriety, got to fight and claw their way you know what I'm saying, to get recognition and stuff like that. And you know, I'm not mad at them anymore. I was, because I'm just like, man, y'all flooding it. Some of y'all don't even care. Some of y'all put out 20 episodes and disappear. It's like, some of y'all using this as a money grab. But some, you can tell, are really into it. Like, they're deep. They have a bunch of episodes, which I love. You know, I'm in the 200 club myself. So I was like, all right, so some of these people are serious. But, you know, eventually it served as motivation for me to keep going. And it's like, you know, they aren't. That's the other thing, too. Everybody's not your quote unquote competition, because there's so many categories and topics that you can discuss. It's like, make your own lane, which is what I did. Just being inspired by like the Breakfast Club. That's probably like my biggest inspiration. I love their interviews, and I'm like, yo, we can do that, and we can talk about some other things. But I digress. I'm talking too much about myself. How do you feel? Do you feel like, or what do you know about the money aspect of podcasting? Do you have any insight on that, on how that works and how that flows and what podcasters could do?
I don't, yo. I don't. And that's the thing, like you said, and that was the point of me doing like the platform to help people with that. Like, because like you said, all the other platforms are going to go to the big ones, like, you know, the Friend Zone, the Read, you know, all these other ones that we're familiar with, but not the little guys. But honestly, no, I think any podcaster, if you have any kind of an influence to modernize your podcast, that's definitely going to be like you're doing, like the sponsorships that you have, and just reach out to these companies to
You're
do
right.
your sponsorships with, because you don't have to have a lot of followers necessarily. It's going to be mostly your engagements. And so that's why I say like social media is so important, because that's part of it. It's not just your show, but it's also your engagements too.
You're 1,000% correct. I was listening to the Earn Your Leisure podcast, and oh my goodness, Lord, hold on, I gotta look their name up. You've probably heard of Horrible Decisions podcast?
Yeah.
I can't remember if it was Mandy or Wheezy, but they were on there talking about how they got started, um, and advertising. So affiliates is one, ladies and gentlemen. So we giving y'all some free game right now. So all of our dope black podcasters that are listening, one, affiliates. So wherever you shop online, they might have an affiliate program like Gardener's Garden. I followed them on Instagram. I bought some of their products because I'm on this spree of supporting black businesses, and I did a
Oh
video about
yeah.
it. And yeah, and I saw at the bottom, oh, affiliates. Oh, let me look at this. Signed up. Um, so definitely look out for that. Also, reach out to people. Like, if you're someone, like if you're local and you know someone who has like a local store or something like that, and you focus on a local area with your podcast, you can charge people for ad space in your podcast. You kind of have to create your own lane, basically. And it's doable. It's definitely doable, but you know, have your stuff together, have your little presentation together, let them know what you're offering them. But really, if you're gonna do affiliates, and I'll tell people this, if you're gonna do affiliates and you're gonna do advertisers, I will recommend that you work with them first. Try their stuff first before you send your listeners out there to try it and the stuff is like bad.
Yeah.
Like there's only one affiliate I've had that I did not shop with, and that was Retro Mimi. They sell handheld emulation devices, so you can like put retro games on it and stuff like that and play pocket video games. I had priorities. I couldn't buy a system. I still might, but every other affiliate I have done business with and still continue to do business with. And I actually like their services. So when I tell y'all about these affiliates, it's not like a money grab. Like, I don't make $1 million off of them, but I use their products, and I think that y'all would benefit. And it's kind of like in our lane. But
Mm.
that's all I really know about that. Just trying to give some tidbits out there for people.
Absolutely.
So, okay, dope black pods. What would it take, or what do you think you need to take dope black pods to the next level? Wait, what was that?
Be real. Like, okay, take money off the table. You want to, because that's the first thing. I need somebody to give me a check. with the 4Ks. I almost said 3Ks, but I don't want to be kick a Ks. 4Ks.
You still okay.
It's like, because I'm like, forget this whole like. Listen, it's like for me, I feel like I don't even need no handout. I don't need your shout out. I don't need nothing. Just give me the dollars, cause I'm good. I got me my because I just feel like I built that page, from the ground up. Them followers are organic. I did it on my own. So it's like I don't need that. It's help. I just need some money to support this thing. And so yeah, that's what I would need to go to the next level. So, and more time in the day. Honestly, that celebrities always like, oh, we all have the same 20. I'm sorry, I'm on my soapbox. We got the same 24 hours. No, we don't, bitch. We don't. We do not. I need about 4 more hours in my day.
We don't have the same 24 hours. You're correct. People say that.
Like, yeah.
Or for those of you who want to be technical, yes, we have the same 24 hours, but we do not have the same obligations, okay?
Yeah. Yes, and a team, that can kind of bring your things to fruition. You know what I'm saying?
A cooperative team.
Yeah.
People always want to be down on. Oh, it's moving. It's doing well. Oh, wait, hold on. They out here pushing the car. I thought we was just getting in riding. No, you don't want to push? Get your shoes dirty. Let's go.
Yes.
Nah.
So I mean, yeah. So I mean, that's a couple of things. I'm not going to sit here and say that that's the only thing. I feel like I need to get out of my own way. Let's talk about that. I really do need to get over this whole video thing. So I think that's where my next step is. So we'll get there. Stay tuned in the next couple weeks, guys.
If I may, you look you look very nice. So the
Thank
camera
you.
is definitely your friend, okay? So don't worry about that aspect of things. And show your beautiful black face. It's my former co-host told me, she was like, people really react to seeing human faces, which I need to do a better job of dabbing back into every now and again, doing a video on my IG for our podcast, just letting people see my face. I was doing it more frequently, and then I got busy, and that's my problem. Just like you, when I get busy, stuff starts falling to the wayside, and I gotta fix that. I gotta be stricter with my schedule, and if you don't have a schedule, get a schedule, y'all. Create a schedule for yourself. But if you don't have a schedule, it's like you setting yourself up for failure. But
bro, okay, so because my thing is like I'll have a schedule and I'll be cool, but then I miss something, and then the anxiety, and then the schedule just get thrown right out the window, and it'll be 4 weeks later. I'm like, oh, where my girl?
You know what you got to do though? Like this is me, and I tell people that like. I learned this when I did real estate. Like my schedule, I treat it like it's a job. Like my friends call me. Like I meet with my intern 3 times a week. We Monday, Wednesday, and Thursdays. And like if I'm playing Xbox with my friends and stuff at like 5:00, I'm like, yo, I gotta go in 15 minutes. I got this meeting. Like it's literally like that. Like, could I cancel it? Yeah. And stay playing Xbox or do whatever I want. Or if my friends invite me out, could I cancel it? Yeah. But I make it a priority, and I'm like, no. Like whatever else has to be sacrificed is gonna be sacrificed. Let me stick to my schedule and make the progress. And the thing that happens for me is, I don't always want to meet. And I know she don't always want to meet, but we always have a good time. And the podcast, it moves. You take a step forward every single time, and that's how you get things done. Yeah. I'm waiting for that transition. It feels good now, but I'm waiting for that transition to feel just as good as recording, because it's the artsy, put together stuff that I don't like the admin stuff and all that stuff.
The behind the scenes type stuff.
I don't like it.
But I think you make a good point though too, like with the whole time thing, because it's like we put all of our energy into things that aren't necessarily, because like I work still outside, and so like I feel like I put my energy into that, and then when I get home, like I have zero energy to do any creation or anything for Dope Like Pods, and so it's like I have to really figure that out. I'm making some changes though that's going to help, but it is kind of tough trying to balance in the two.
If you need help, don't forget you can always barter, okay? You have something that people want and need, which is exposure. So if you need to exchange exposure for services, do it. You know what I'm saying? Leverage what you have to get the help that you need so that thing can continue to move forward. I've done it several times. Several.
Use what you got to get what you want.
Yeah. Not in a nasty way, y'all. But if you get down like that, I'm not judging. Let me sip my tea. Mm. But
I
yeah.
hear you. If somebody out there can help me with this website, hit me up. 'Cause that's the biggest stress I got right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's gonna get there. It's gonna get there. Bless.
It'll get there. It'll definitely get there. Now what was the name of your podcast?
Sit with us.
Sit with us?
Mm-hmm.
When's the last time y'all recorded? Now this is me
Oh,
fussing at
wow.
you. Excuse me?
Oh, ooh.
Uh-oh.
You deep in my business?
Yeah, your question there said I can talk about anything, but there's some things you don't want to talk about. Is this one of them?
No.
This is me as a fellow dope black podcaster to another dope black podcaster who is creative, who is awesome, who is spectacular, trying to give you some motivation. You're not the only person. I have another friend who I'm trying to get her to start her podcast back too.
I think we have an idea because we're gonna change it up. I think the last time we recorded was like August, I think, of last year. So it's been
That's not
a really
bad. That's not bad.
not bad, I mean, we were in the middle of a pandemic and still is,
Yeah.
But I think so. I think we're gonna change something. So I think it's gonna re-excite us.
Yeah.
To change things up a little bit. So we'll see. But yeah, we're gonna be coming back soon.
Yes, and I will say this not just to you, but to everybody, because I'm pretty you have the experience, so you know this. But those of you, even if you're starting out and you get frustrated, or you feel you need to stop and you want to come back, remember you control your schedule. You don't have to release an episode every week. I know podcasts that release twice a month. I know podcasts that release once a month. Yeah. Do what works for you in your schedule and just, keep your audience informed. Hey, y'all, our schedule is changing. This is when we're coming out. And you got to do it for a little while so that it marinates, and then they get on the train and all right, so I'm not looking for you every week anymore. I'm looking for you every other week type deal. I just put that out there because I had to do that at one point in time. Like, I didn't have the most reliable people with me. So I'm like, and I hate doing solo podcasts. I'm better at it now because I have a mixer, so I have some music and some filler and some segments. I've grown to how I can do it by myself.
Solo podcasters, y'all are dope because it's hard. So to be a good one, y'all gotta have all the bells and whistles. So there's a couple I like out there.
Yes. It's definitely hard. Y'all keep working on your craft though. Keep being creative. Yeah. Definitely reach out to me. All of our information is in the description. If y'all have any questions or anything, I'm always down to help other podcasters. But Tia, I got one last question for you. Then I'm going to let you go. Okay. So I haven't asked anyone this in a while. What words of encouragement do you have for the young man or the young lady that is listening that may want to start their own directory or that may want to start their own podcast network? You've been through some of the bumps, some of the bruises, some of the ups and some of the downs. They haven't gotten there yet. So what words of encouragement do you have for them?
You don't have to have everything. You do not have to have everything figured out. You do not have to have a website. You just have to have a mic and a computer and some internet. Honestly, don't stress about it all. When my podcast, we started out in a studio, and then we were trying to save,
fancy,
right? And then we were trying to save some money, so we moved to a home recording. And so for about a 2-3 month period, we had some, off and on audio issues. Mm. So you just have to work through that shit and figure it out. It's not going to be perfect, and I think a lot of people are afraid about that. I don't have everything. I need this and I need that. I need a website. You don't need anything like that. If you have an idea and you want to start it, you're going to find an audience. Somebody's going to listen. And so I just say, just start it. Start it. Do it. Record. Press play.
Let me hit the round of applause for that one.
And then upload that shit.
Yes.
And I'm talking to me and you about this video stuff.
Maybe yeah, I got to, like, I done bought microphones, and I have everything I need to do
all
it.
your things.
The ring lights. Hold on, let me turn on my other ring light. You can see me go. Hello. Like, I got I got everything. I just need to do it. You're right. So, Tia, thank you again for joining us. I really appreciate it. Oh, I didn't tell you about the outro music. Hold up.
Oh, what's the outro music?
No, my outro music. Oh, there we go. All right. Tell everybody where they can find you.
Dope Black Pods on every platform. If you want to follow me, I am Tia Talks _ on everything. And check out the directory at dopeblackpods.com. Submit your directory. If you want to be on an ad, we got some of that too. Let us know. Check it out.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tia's information will be in the description. Y'all already know y'all can follow us, FME_podcast on Instagram, From My Experience Podcast on Facebook. Thank you for continuing to support. Thank you for continuing to show love. And just thank you for being you. Special shout out to all the dope black podcasters out there. If you're not in the directory, get into the Dope Black Pods directory.
Straight up.
And until next time, ladies and gentlemen, take care of yourselves physically, mentally, financially, and we'll see y'all next time. Peace.